Hello, and welcome to the Orlando World Sunday Showdown round of 64. In this week's edition, we put two Walt Disney World attractions through their paces, with the Magic Kingdom's Big Thunder Mountain Railroad going into a one-on-one battle with former Hollywood Studios attraction, The Great Movie Ride. The Big Thunder Mountain Railroad opened in the Frontierland area at Magic Kingdom on the 23rd of September, 1980, and became an instant fan favourite, while being dubbed the wildest ride in the wilderness. The ride is situated way back in the back corner of the Magic Kingdom in Frontierland, behind Splash Mountain and across from Tom Sawyer Island, easily identifiable as the Big Orange Mountain. After you arrive at the legendary Big Thunder Mining Company, guests descend into an abandoned mine shaft and board the train. As you enter the cursed cavern, the engine speeds up to 35 miles per hour along the rickety track. The runaway trains dodge exploding dynamite and falling boulders as you swoop around turns, drop into canyons and dart through the mysterious ghost town of Tumbleweed. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is a fast roller coaster type attraction designed for kids and adults. However, some parts of this attraction are bumpy, and in some instances, take place in the dark. One thing is certain though, it's a wild ride that has thrilled park visitors for almost 4 decades. Disney's Hollywood Studios was once home to the Great Movie Ride, which was an opening day attraction at the park, which opened on the 1st of May, 1989. The attraction uses a unique combination of animatronics, practical sets, live actors, special effects, and projections to recreate iconic scenes from 12 classic films throughout motion picture history. The attraction was located inside the park's replica of Grauman's Chinese Theatre, one of Hollywood's most famous movie palaces. After passing through the queue area, based in the foyer area of the Chinese building, you enter a cavern set where theatre ushers directed you to the large trams. The trams were actually 2 sets of trams that split up early into the show, and depending on which section you were in, your tram was hijacked by an actor, either a gangster or a western bandit, while your hapless hostess was left behind. The Great Movie Ride used film footage, special effects and audio animatronic figures of famous actors, which meant guests were treated to scenes from Casablanca, Tarzan, Mary Poppins, Singin' in the Rain, Fantasia, Wizard of Oz, Raiders of the Lost Ark and Alien, to name a few. The finale featured a sentimental film montage sure to bring a smile. Old and new clips are combined in a memorable recollection of some classic movie moments. So let's now move ahead to the first of a series of rounds, to crown the winning attraction, which will advance to the round of 32. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad has a fairly long track length for a family-based roller coaster ride. With an overall track length of 2,671 feet, it's was longer than the likes of Coastosaurus at Legoland, and Cobra's Curse and Scorpion at Busch Gardens, and fairly similar in length to Revenge of the Mummy at Universal Studios. Throughout the railroad ride, riders experience a classic runaway train ride. The setting is an abandoned mine in the American Southwest, where locomotives are reported to be running on their own. The ride goes through tunnels and a flyby with another train, and is threatened by rock slides and collapsing mines. The track reaches a maximum height of 45 feet, travelling at a top speed of 35 miles per hour, ducking and diving around its course. The ride was the inspiration for the Splash Mountain Log Flume Ride, and the more recent Seven Dwarfs Mine Train attraction, which is shorter, but seen as a slightly upgraded version to Thunder Mountain. Thunder Mountain makes good use of its track length, and considering the fairly easy pace, it actually feels like a much faster ride than it is. The Great Movie Ride, though, is a track ride, which travels through various famous film sets and iconic scenes in movie history, on a 1,926-foot track. The attraction moves around at a fairly pedestrian pace, often stopping during scenes, making the most of the ride time. The ride vehicles utilize the traveling theater-style automated guided vehicle ride system similar to the former Universe of Energy attraction at Epcot. However, here the ride vehicles were much smaller in size, were grouped together in pairs of two, and featured an open cab in the first row of the front vehicle for a live tour guide to stand, provide narration, and operate the ride vehicle. So in round 1, clearly the Magic Kingdom attraction, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad has a longer track length, and takes the first point in the contest. Let's head straight into round 2. In terms of ride durations, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad has a fairly respectable ride time of 3 minutes and 25 seconds on average. The trains travel up to 35 miles per hour. Being a family-friendly ride, this isn't the fastest of roller coasters, but the 3.5-minute ride has plenty of thrills for its intended audience. With its wild twist and unpredictable track, the ride doesn't pass too quickly, but does feel faster than it really is. The Great Movie Ride, though, is a completely different type of attraction, being a feature presentation of film sets. The ride has a duration of over 22 minutes, traveling through various scenes from classic movies. There's certainly a lot to take in throughout the duration of the ride. With reenactments and some musical numbers, the 22 minutes passes reasonably well. So in the second round, there is no contest, as the Great Movie Ride takes the point to level the score going into round 3. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is located in Frontierland, and is based within the iconic orange rock face. The ride follows the backstory where in the late 1800s, gold had been discovered in the southwest mountains, particularly in the Manning town of Tumbleweed, where the Manning community set up business to claim all the gold. The story continues as with all the mining that had taken place, tragedy strikes the mining area, and the place becomes abandoned, and even cursed, leading to the mine trains becoming possessed and rallying around the tracks alone. The ride is themed incredibly well, with lots of quirky props laid out throughout the ride, right down to weeds growing in the rocks, and skeletons littering the trail, and even the waterfalls adding a bit of drama to the raucous ride. This is all topped off with some incredible sound effects from the steam and whistling of the trains, which aren't actually real, and are piped in through the ride's sound system. The engineering to create such theming was complex, but the intricate attention to detail makes the attraction just that bit better. Theming for the Great Movie Ride was considered top-notch by many park guests. Considering the ride was an opening day attraction for Hollywood studios, it only had a few upgrades in its time. Theming begins outside the attraction, with a full-scale replica of the Grauman's Chinese Theatre, which is located on Hollywood Boulevard in California. Each scene throughout the ride was highly detailed, often filled with original props from their movie counterparts. The added elements of live-action roleplay with cast members playing parts throughout the ride helped to ramp the theming and story up a little, taking the attraction up a notch from the likes of Spaceship Earth, which was mostly animatronic-based. The interactions on display in these areas made the attraction feel more like a real movie set than an exhibition ride. So at the end of round 3, there really isn't much between the two attractions, with theme and storylines in both attractions being extremely well presented, making each attraction memorable. However, just narrowly, the point in this round just goes to the Hollywood Studios attraction, which offered a lot of variety with the countless different show scenes, taking the Great Movie Ride into the lead for the first time as we head into round 4. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad opened on the 23rd of September, 1980, and has been one of Disney World Resort's most popular attractions. What remains impressive is that this has been the case for almost 4 decades, being in service for 39 years. it continues to attract large crowds. The Great Movie Ride, however, operated from 1998 until closing in 2017. After 28 years in service, the ride announced its closure, with a slight decline in ridership, due to many younger park visitors not knowing about many of the featured movies. So winning with a clear margin, to level the score, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad takes the point as we head into the fifth and final round. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad provides excellent value for its ride duration. It is fondly admired by theme park guests for being one of the best family-friendly coasters in Florida. The ride doesn't go the fastest in terms of speed, but the track layout makes this seem to be a much more speedier attraction, living up to its name as the wildest ride in the wilderness. Thunder Mountain is fun, and at the right moments, it offers riders a thrill or two with the unexpected twists, bumps and turns through tight caverns and canyons. It continues to thrill park guests almost 4 decades on. Meanwhile, the Great Movie Ride offered the odd thrill, thanks to the interactive live-action elements. With some pyrotechnics and a good variety of different movie themes, it doesn't offer the same thrills in terms of speed and power like Thunder Mountain, but it offers a fantastic nostalgic look back at some of the most iconic scenes from classic movies. Both attractions offered multiple ride value, and attracted a very loyal fan base, but in terms of being a more thrilling attraction, we do have a winner at the end of the fifth and final round. So in the fifth and final round, we do have a winner. Looking at the final results, one attraction wins by a score of 3 points to 2. Which means, unfortunately, it's the end of the road for the Great Movie Ride, which drops out of the competition. The Great Movie Ride offered a wonderful look back at the history of movies, but was sadly closed. It was replaced by Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which opened in March of 2020. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad advances to the next round. Join us next week, where we see the contest between Cheetah Hunt and It's a Small World. See you soon. We hope you enjoy this video. Please support us by subscribing to our channel. You can find us on social media platforms. Find us on Facebook and Twitter at Orlando Worlds, and on Instagram at The Orlando Worlds. Have you seen our photo flashback series featuring this week's attractions? You can check the links in the description down below. Thanks for watching.